Hi everybody. I'm Nicholas, and I'm from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I just wanted to kind of bring something to attention to those in the U.S. and the 50 states, also around the country, um, trying to spread awareness for something called hyperexplexia. The spelling of that, so you can look it up, is HYPEREKPLEXIA. Short term, it's HPX. It's a neurological condition. It's not something that just in the middle of your life you get it and you have it. It's through mutation. Most likely, father or mother, or it can come from like a cousin, from first cousin to your very last cousin from the other side of a family. It's very rare. Not a lot of people in the U.S. know about it. Doctors really don't know a whole lot about it. From my understanding, is that the UW of Michigan, the doctor there knows a lot about it. But like I said, then again, Wisconsin is a state that really doesn't have a lot of information on it. So far, all I know is I'm the only one in Wisconsin that has it. And the sad thing is there's around 300 or more people in the 50 states that have this condition. The reason no one knows about it is because it is so rare. If you were to go to the UK and England, and you asked about it, they would know exactly what you're talking about. They have far more people that have it than we do here in the U.S. In the UK, they have about 30 to upwards of 50,000 people that have it. Most of them go to Wales. There's a university college hospital in Wales. It's actually called University Hospital of Wales, and they know the great extent of it, what to do, what not to do, how it happens, how it affects the life, when, and does it stop? Is there a cure? Unfortunately, right now, no one knows if there's a cure. In Wales is where most of the information that the U.S. gets about this is from there. The U.S. is kind of under-knowledged on that. Not because they're not trying. In the U.S., we have a whole lot of, leukemia and cancer, autism, ADHD, and just a whole variety of things. And I'm not saying those are not important. They are. In fact, I went to the Bradley Center on last Saturday, and for a company I used to work for, I had helped volunteer for the autism walk to support. I wish there was a group, there's a group, but I wish there was like a foundation for hyperexplexia, to help those newborns that have it, that have the accessibility with the new machines in doctors' offices, or hospitals and doctors' offices, that I didn't get to have in '86. In '86, my mom, she had a great pregnancy for 9 months. I wasn't born prematurely. I wasn't born too late. I was born at the, I don't know the right time, but somewhat close. Having the baby was great, but once they had to give me a bath, that's when they noticed something wasn't right. When they tried to give me a bath, I started shaking. And I know when you hear shaking, the first thing that comes into your mind is seizures. And I'm not saying that seizures is the wrong thing to think about, but with this condition, it's sometimes not the right thing to say. It's the wrong thing. It's a condition that is 9 times out of 10 misdiagnosed. They think it's seizures, so they, when you're in an ambulance, they put you on they stab you with a needle injection of something that kind of like settles down someone that has seizures. It doesn't work, and they've done that to me once, and that was just recently. About two weeks ago, I had to actually go to the hospital through ER. I had a problem. I'll get back to that. As you notice, as I'm talking, I actually I'll talk about one thing and then move over and start talking about the same thing but in a different context or a different subject on it. I have also a learning disability to go along with it, which I believe, and my mother believes, is derived from this neurological condition that I have. What it is everybody in the world needs glycine in their brain inhibitors. Unfortunately, those that have this condition don't. So there's a lot of medication out there that we have to take. Medication that we don't like to take. I take probably 4 different medications to help this. It's very severe. In some rare cases, it can be deadly. And you just have to know how to prevent it from starting or prevent it from progressing and trying to stop it. In my case, I don't get any glycine in my brain inhibitors. So, and the glycine in your brain inhibitors, it kind of sends signals to sections of your brain where you have a part of your brain that is a thinking skill, knowledge skill, or a and also a part of your body that tells you what to do at any time of the day. Without this medication, I would probably be in the hospital a lot, and sending someone with this, unless they're being treated correctly, or have something medically that they can use, the hospital is the wrong place to be. in my case, we also have what everybody has, what's called brain receptors. It's in the back of your brain, and it's like a shut-off valve. You don't turn it on or off. It's all basically connected from your glycine, and the glycine tells it when to turn on or off. And with normal people, their brain inhibitor is always off, unless they're crazy. I don't know. But with me, as far as I know, I have not one of the rarest ones in the world, but I'm probably in the top 300, maybe a little higher. I don't know. Common symptoms that are common things that actually make it happen or cause it to happen. There are, I believe, 3 major components: cold weather, depression, and stress. Those are the 3 main causes to someone, what we call, having an episode. Now, in my case, cold, stress, and depression are very huge in what causes me to have this. Other things that do it, like I said, because I have no glycine, and the medication that I take 3 times a day helps me get through the day. It affects the muscles in your entire body, from head to toe: back muscle, neck muscle, your lungs, your eyes, your breathing in general, and walking. Some are in wheelchairs because they can't walk, because the medication they're on is not the right medication. Like I said, they're being misdiagnosed. So if they're not in a wheelchair where they're confined and safe, they fall. And when we fall, we can't break our fall. It's like fainting and your eyes close. That's what happens. Sometimes the eyes will close, sometimes they don't, and even if they do, when it happens, your body becomes very rigid. And for some of you that may not know what rigid means, it's like my fist. You see my fist, and how, I can't move this finger here, I can't bend this thumb out, I can't put my finger through here. This here becomes very, very hard. Right now it's semi-hard. It's not really. This is actually my muscle, which is really nothing. I'm a strong man, from what my mom says. I'm very physically strong for my weight and my size, but when it happens, when I have an episode, I actually become and most all of us do when we have one. We become like the Incredible Hulk, and I become 2 times the strength that I am right now. Other things that cause this to happen, like I said, the glycine kind of tells the brain what to do. So there could be an argument going on, not you being in an argument, but let's say 2 family members or 2 friends in an argument. What that argument does is it puts stress on your body, and the stress is what causes this episode to come about. It's like a scare tactic, and it scares us. It puts us in a bad position. Yelling can do it. I could easily hear a noise of this, and if I'm in that element of where I am not coherent, I'm out of it, I'm in my episode, and I become to come out of it, and I'm starting to realize that noise right away will restart it back again. So then I'll have another one. That's the problem with mine. Dogs barking, doors closing, car doors, house doors, fire trucks, police cars. Not just the siren that does it. Fire truck, it's how tall it is. And more than anything, it's the lights that continually move. Those lights affect us neurologically and put us into like a trance, like a hypnosis, and we become spaced out. We can hear you, but we can't speak. And if you catch it in time, and I'm not saying me or someone else that has this, I'm saying if someone you know that knows a lot about this catches it in time, they can keep it from starting. And that's the best thing to do. In the summer, it's a lot easier because it's warmer out. The legs don't get cold. I don't shiver. I actually prefer summer more than the cold. Unfortunately, my family lives in Wisconsin. If we lived in, I don't know, Florida, I'd be a happy man. California, I'd be a happy man. It's warm all year, and it would help me out a lot. But the summer also has its downs, just like the winter. In the summer, I'm out more than I am in the winter, so I see the outside more, because, like I said, it don't affect my legs as much, or my body. But walking is a tough thing. It could be walking too fast, whether you're walking slow, fast, moderate pace, going too long. Everybody's leg muscles, and I'm not just talking us that have this condition. I'm talking everybody in the world that walks and walks a long time. It's exercise, so your calf muscles become very tight, and you can feel the muscle. The muscle is there. You can feel it. Well, with us, we can feel it. But what it also does, it sends a signal to our brain from down here, sends it to our brain, and basically tells us, you're going to fall. Even though we're not, it says, you're going to fall. And then all of a sudden, we just stop. We don't keep walking, we stop. We're in this position, standing there, clueless, spaced out, and the legs can't move. You could try, but they won't. They're like sticks. There's no bending to them. Well, sticks bend. More like wood. Wood doesn't bend. You can't take a block of wood and just go, it's not going to bend. It's firm. You can't move it. It's firm. It's steady. And that's what happens. And what's that called is your knees lock. Lock into position, and you can't bend them. So any further step move, because If you move, let's say, your right foot, and you move it forward, well, now you're stuck because your other leg won't bend, so you can't move it. The only way you can move in that position is if you have one or two people with you that knows you, that are strong enough to hold you up. Because, as I said, one, we fall, two, we become stronger than you. We become stronger. My cousin, he's like, I don't know, 6'1", 6'2", and he weighs about 225 pounds, but he's got a lot of muscle, a lot. And I mean, he's 2 times stronger than me, by all means. One punch, he could take me out, no joke. But when I had an episode in a park playing basketball with him, I couldn't walk, so he had to pick me up. Well, if I'm not on the ground and I know that I'm in the air, that sends a signal to my brain, and right away I'll start shaking and I'll get scared. Well, because my arm was around his neck, my arm became very tense right here and here, and his back of the neck was about right, well, the side of his neck was about right here, and I gripped it hard because that was my only safety net. And I kid you not, he actually was bending over as he was carrying me. His neck was hurting, and he basically said, "My neck hurts from you," and I'm like, well, I can't control it, and he understands that. My mom is a strong woman. She's dealt with this for 28 years of my life. I'm only 28, so can't say 29 because I wasn't around then. So I had it when I was a baby, and I was in and out of the hospital every week since I was born, probably about at the least 6 times. And, well, because I'm 28, I don't really remember my childhood as much as I would like to, or as much as anybody else does. And that's the problem with us that have this. There's a lot of things we don't remember, and there's a lot of things we can remember. And sometimes the things we do remember are things that our parents don't even remember, which is odd. So, like I said, could be walking, and it could sound like there's someone walking behind me, and my neck hairs will stick up. I'm scared. I'm starting to get cold, and I'm in this hot weather. I'm starting to get cold, and I'll stop, look behind me, no one's there. Okay, my legs will, if I stay there or try to sit down, my legs will relax a little bit. Sometimes if I stand up against a pole, my legs will kind of contract, relax, just kind of close in and just relax, and come to a steady body. Then I can walk again. But in the sun, everybody has a shadow. My shadow scares me when I'm walking, because everybody knows that your shadow is always horizontal or diagonal, dark, sometimes light, depends where you are, and it's like about a foot ahead of you, and when you see it coming, because you could be in the shade walking, and then all of a sudden the sun, well, here it pops up. When it does that, it scares me. It scares all of us, because it's something unexpected. It makes us think that there's somebody walking next to us or behind us, and it puts us into state of mind where we just clench our fist, we try to grab something we can't grab. That's why when we have this, we like to walk next to a building. If we're walking, we'd like to be walking with someone at the same pace, so that if something does happen, there's something to hold on to, someone to hold on to brace the fall. Because the thing that fears us the most is not what's happening around us, but what happens after the fact. When we fall, it doesn't hurt us. We don't cry. We don't wimp about it. We don't say, man, that hurt. We don't do any of that because we can't feel it. We're out of it. We can't feel it. And by the time we come out of it, we actually, we don't remember how we got to that point in place. But we know exactly what was going on. Now, what also can cause it can be a car that is parked, not on, and if I'm walking too much, my brain will say, hey, this car's on, this car's moving, if you move, this car's going to hit you. And I've had many, countless times when I was driving, many, countless times that I would go to the mall or a grocery store or wherever, and I literally could see my vehicle that's less than 10 feet in front of me, but I can't get across to it because my brain is telling me that, one, it's an open space to cross, like a street you're crossing, and there's a car coming. But we look, and there's no car. We know there's no car, but our brain is saying there is. And because our brain is saying it, because we don't have the glycine, it causes our muscles and our legs, body to just stop, get tight, we can't move. And when it has happened, even in working for Walgreens for 12 years, I've had this problem start about when I was 23, 24. It came back. So it took about probably 20 minutes just to get to 10 feet. If we attempt to, we will actually crawl on the ground to get to our vehicle, knowing it's just a couple steps and we're there. Because we know that we're on the ground, we can't fall. It's the fear of falling. It's not the fear of getting hurt. It's us having that fear of falling that scares us the most when we have this. Now, when babies have it when they're born, it's very common that it will last for a certain period of time. And for me, from what I remember, it lasted till I was probably about 5. And then after that, from 5 years old till I was about maybe 13 or 12, I was starting my 8th grade of middle school. So I was actually 15. So for 10 years, I was basically a normal child. I ran around, played basketball, had a lot of friends, ran everywhere, walked everywhere, did whatever, had no issues, no problems. I felt like a kid. I could ride a bike. I could play football in the parking lot, throw football, and not be scared, not have this issue. And because it was a change of scenery, change of city, I went from living in Milwaukee to moving more to Franklin area, which would be from Milwaukee to Franklin is about a northwest move. New people that I don't know. I believe that's what had started it. And when I had noticed that things were going on, I didn't tell my parents. I didn't tell my mom, who knew about it all along, because in my head I thought, nothing was going wrong. I thought I was fine. I thought everything was okay, that it's just my asthma acting up. But when I was about 24, 3 years ago, is when I really came to my mom and said, hey, I told her what exactly was going on, and I said, I can't go to work right now. Something needs to happen. I need to see a doctor. I need to see someone. That's when she broke it to me, what I had. Now, I didn't know until I was 24. And then she kind of gave me a history lesson, basically about my life. And that's how I found out. It got worse. As soon as I had medication, after a while, it got better. I felt good. But when I turned, just before I was turning 27, it was about October of 2012. It was getting worse for me because my grandpa was very ill. He had heart problems, and my very best friend, he took care of me when my mom was taking care of me, my brother, and my sister, and at his home with my grandma, and he basically was my dad, because my dad wasn't around. He, to me, didn't care, and right now he doesn't care. Me with this, he thinks that I have issues that I can control, but I don't want to control them, and that I'm just basically taking his money away because I collect SSDI because I can't work. So it has affected me ever since, and the last one I remember having was last Thursday. My sister had taken me to a sports complex to shoot around. I've been starting to shoot around a little more. My legs I do it when my legs feel good. If my legs are tired, I can't do anything. It's out of my control. The only thing to prevent it from my legs hurting is just sitting down or laying down and letting my legs relax. But that don't mean I can just go do whatever then, because once my legs hurt, it's like it takes a day or two for them to recoup and get better. And I had went to the I was there, and I played basketball with 3 other guys that my sister knew. Haven't played physical in years because of this. And I knew from experience at the park, right away I felt dizzy. My breathing was slowing down, short, asthmatic. I have mild asthma, not severe. Severe, I had it before when I was younger, but the medication, the inhaler that I took kind of killed it, in which I wish this was killed. It's traumatizing my life, hindering me from doing things that other people can do. But I knew I was dizzy, and I sat down on the bench and I told my sister, hey, I'm not feeling good. I don't feel right. And she knows exactly what was going on. And right about here, it was hurting my chest bone. It hurt. It does it to me. I don't know if it does it to other people in the U.S. or the U.K. that have this. I don't know. I am in a group that I talk to people sometimes here and there. We share info, and that's how we learn about other people that have this and what to do and what not to do, how to help them. Really, some of them are parents that are on there that have it in their 40s, 50s, 60s, 30s, 20s, to parents that are just on there for their newborns that were just born that have it. And they look for questions, or look for answers with their questions, sometimes look for questions. Ever since I've been seeing my doctor, things have gotten better. Things have gotten better. And that's the good thing. But throughout this last year, with the depression of losing my best friend, my grandpa, 12 days before my birthday, on the same day that my grandma was buried. My grandma passed away 16 days before my birthday in 95 of March 2nd. And my grandpa passed away on the 6th of March last year. So it was tough for me for very many months. Very many months. Most of us that have this resort to drinking alcohol. Not because we want to, not to get drunk, but because it's a faster, easier way to, it calms, what alcohol does is, one, it gets you drunk. That's something everybody knows. It's not a fact sitting out there that nobody has heard of. But what some people may not know is that it relaxes your muscles. And it's like the medication we take. It relaxes our muscles. And it turned into an alcohol problem. So I've been clean since November 3rd. And I'm continuing to stay clean. It's something I don't want to go back to. It was bad. There's another thing that will help us, that the U.S. will get to. If not now, right now Wisconsin is very, very close for the whole state becoming medicinal marijuana. Colorado is already a state that allows it. There's about a couple other states. Florida is on the brinks of becoming one of them. And if it doesn't happen now, I guarantee you that once the presidential election is coming and voting for a new president, it's going to be put on there if you are for it or not. And with about 1 billion people that live in the U.S., I'm probably over-exaggerating with the number, but I'm just going to say that it's going to pass. There's nothing that the government or the president can do. It's going to pass. I believe it's the Democratic part of the government that says it's helpful, but we don't want to legalize it. Well, there's other things that are more important for them to worry about, than this. It benefits us because, you know, I'm not going to lie, I've tried it once, and it was the greatest feeling I had. It put me at ease, and what it does is it puts you at ease for a few days. And it's very less expensive than buying medication that costs, you know, I pay per month. I pay $55. Every 3 months I pay around, probably, if I didn't have insurance, I'd be paying around close to $600-700 every so $1,400 just from that, plus the $600. So I'd be paying $2,000 a year in medication, which is expensive, very, very expensive. There's also a medicinal marijuana pill that can be taken. It's been known to help others that have it, but it depends on the brain, the person, and when they've taken it, they said that it has helped them, where they felt good for 3 weeks without needing another pill. One pill for 3 weeks. That is far more cheaper and more helpful than paying all this money for medication that a lot of people can say the doctors do this to you because it brings them money. You know, I've told myself and told my doctor and my mom, you know, I'm a guinea pig. I'm just being tested on. And, you know, they told me that's something I shouldn't be ashamed of. Because what I'm basically doing and what other people are doing is we are helping those that are born now, born yesterday, the year before that have this, and giving them information on what's working and what's not, what road to go and what road not to take. Because like I said, there's better information, better machines to be used now than there was in the 80s. Far more. So, I've talked a lot about it, but in my closing here, I'm going to basically tell you what can happen to me with this. When it happens, it's something that, it's almost like a drunk person. I basically do this the whole time. When it's about to happen, I do this, or my leg will. People like to, take, like, this is the front of their foot right here, these fingers, and this is the heel, and they'll go like this the whole time. And what it does is it's like a nervous habit. But for me and other people, it's actually a sign that something's happening to me, that I could be nervous, could be scared, could be stressed, depressed, and that's the first sign. Starting to do this, but it's not hard, I'm loose, but starting to do this, I can still move my fingers, is a sign. If I don't respond right away or for a minute or two, that's another response that something's going to happen. And that's when you should know right away. Don't touch them immediately. You let them know, I'm here, there's nothing to worry about. No one's going to hurt you, there's nothing that can hurt you. You're sitting down, I'm next to you. I'm just going to touch you lightly. Don't be afraid. If you don't do any of that, and you just right away say, what is wrong? Right away, what you'll do is send them into a shock phase. which then automatically they will start to shake. So then your first instinct, before I had told you about any of this, would be he's having a seizure or she's having a seizure. And it's not. You scared them. I've had that happen to me too many times. And it frustrates me. And when people see this, they look at it as, this guy's goofy. Or like, is he okay? Is he drunk? And I think to myself, well, I mean, if you saw someone that was having cancer or who was autistic or ADHD, would you say the same thing? Or say something negative about them? Because nobody does. So why would this be treated any differently? So I'm trying to spread awareness. I do a lot of drawing. If you are watching this, you can find me on Instagram. To find me, my name is, or not my name, but my screen name is all in capital letters, no space, REDDMAN. Once again, that's REDDMAN. On Instagram, I have about 40 posts on there. All of them are not pictures I've drawn. They could be stupid pictures. I sometimes post stupid things just for the fun, to see what people think. But I do a lot of drawings to spread awareness, or try to. I don't know if it helps. I got about, from the world, probably about 1,400 people that follow me, or that I follow. And I got about 800 out of the world that follow me. I have on there a post that I have on there that I'm not taking off, and it explains more in depth what it is by the neurons in the brain and the chemical balance and whatnot that throws off the brain. So feel free to check that out. And I don't have it private where you have to ask to follow me. It's just follow, done. Because I want people to have that access to get into it, to know that, to get into that. If you also wanted to, if you're on Facebook, in your search, type in the same exact thing, HYPEREKPLEXIA group. And you can't just see posts. You might be able to, but it's a locked group, because we've had so many people come into the group that are using us for information that they really don't need, using us for their own laughing knowledge, so they can just laugh about it, ask stupid questions that are ignorant, hurtful inside, because like everyone else, we have a heart, and it hurts. It's a disease. It's a disease that's taking a part of my body and putting me in a position I don't like to be in ever. So, back to what I was saying. Right away, my eyes will close, so I can't see. I can't open them. My eyelids will twitch, and that's going to happen. But my eyes are closed. You can open my eyelids and see my eyes and say, well, he's awake. It's not like he's sleeping. But you can't assume that and say, alright, wake up. You can't. And I had that in the hospital when I was admitted in the hospital about 3 weeks ago. And it was a traumatic experience for me. And the worst one I have ever had, and made me rethink about hospitals and how they treat people, and it's not something I'm going to talk about. I just don't want to. In layman's term, if I am saying that right, I do that all the time. I was strapped to the hospital bed. Both my wrists and my ankles because I was shaking, and they thought I was trying to break a nurse's thumb. Well, if my fist is like this and you're putting your thumb in there trying to do something, you're working with someone who has a neurological problem that they can't control. They can't control what they're doing. They can hear you, but they can't control what they're doing. They can't listen. They can't do what you are telling them to do because the brain communication is not on. It's completely off. And she stuck her thumb in there, and she was trying to open up my fingers like this, but she couldn't. But because she didn't represent who she was, she didn't say, she didn't do anything, she just right away put her thumb in there. It scared me. I flipped my body the other way, and when I did, her thumb went this way, and she was hearing a snap. I say to people, it's not my fault you stuck your finger in there. You're a doctor. You have my neurologist's name, her phone number. Call her. You should have done that. It's not my fault you stuck your finger in there. Don't blame it on me because I can't control what I have. I can't, in the middle of it, just wake up and say, oh, it's a false alarm, I'm sorry. You know, or just go, oh, there's your thumb, I'm sorry. I'll go back to it again. No. And when you're a nurse, doctor, you gotta have that sense to know that something is happening. Don't do something stupid that you think is gonna work when you don't even know what this person has, and when you do, you still think it's the right thing to do. It's the wrong thing to do. And that's one of the things I was saying. It's wrong to stick your finger into a clenched fist because you will break your finger. Not because of us. Because you are the one that put your finger in there trying to open it when you should never have. The only time you try to loosen up the fingers is when you notice that we're calm. And we're calm. And our fists will become relaxed. But we can't open them. We'll slowly open them. But when we do, it's more like this is my leg. And this is my fist. I'll just basically do this. Push it hard. It takes a while, but I'll push it on my leg like this, and it'll slowly bend, and then I just do this with my leg, or I'll do, if I have one hand that's relaxed, I'll do it with the other hand, and then I just keep going like this the whole time, because my fingers are so tense that you gotta work them out. You gotta not work them out, just let them tense up like this, because if you just leave them, it's gonna hurt. It's not going to feel good, so you got to do this the whole time. So my eyes are shut. I can hear everything you say through my ears. I have what I call lockjaw. I don't know what the real term is, but I call it lockjaw. I'm going to keep calling it that because I feel like it. My jaw is completely shut, like this. Right now I'm trying to open my hand. I can't. That's how my jaw is. You can try to do this, but if you do, you're going to end up breaking my jaw. Better yet, you could probably hurt your fingers. Nobody has tried that. A lot of people that have seen it happen and seen that I can't open my mouth say, let's just get him some water, maybe he could drink it. Well, are you stupid? Or were you born stupid? Because if I have lockjaw, my jaw's locked, you can't get my mouth open. What are you going to do? Pour water in my eyes? Pour water? My eyes are closed, so I'm pouring water down up my nose and make me choke and die? Put in my ears? No. You can't do anything. I on and off will breathe heavily or short. Have short breath, heavy breath. So I'll sometimes be like, or it's going to be a lot louder, where it's actually coming from the esophagus in the throat, and it'll be like a growl. And that's when you know he's not really, or she is not really getting air into the lungs to breathe. Sometimes I stop breathing at points of a minute to 3 minutes. And then when I do, it's all of a sudden my breathing just goes real fast like this. That's my breathing, real fast. But that can happen on and off right away. And it's not I open my mouth and breathe. I'm basically breathing through my nose when that happens. My whole body becomes very rigid, so my arm will be like basically like, you can see, well, it looks like it's bent. Well, it's not, it's straight. So it'll be like this, and trying to attempt to, this is what it will do. You can't bend it. You can't just go like this. You're gonna either break the bone here in me, or you're gonna waste all your energy trying to do that. My mom has done that before. My brother has. My dad has. My sister has, and they said, "God damn, he's one strong kid." That's the thing. I'm 2 times stronger, and my neurologist has noticed it and seen it. Other doctors have seen it, and they know, gee, this guy is like abnormal. He's strong. I'm strong to start, but I'm stronger when I have one. So with someone that has it, the best thing to do, if you can, is to, if you can get their body to bend from their waist up and bend from here to like this. So what you're doing is you're bringing the trunk of their body, which is the top of the head, where they're breathing at. Because when you're laying down, it's hard to breathe. Because usually breathing goes like this when you're up, because it comes from the stomach. But now you're breathing like this, and it's hard. It's very hard to breathe when you're like that. So you bring it up, and then what you do is you try to extend it even further, because now this is the waist. This is basically, my knee. I know it's flat, but it could be my knee. And you basically bring it. And what you want to do is bring the head to the knee, like this. And what it does is, it opens up the airway in the throat, the esophagus, because the tissue inside my lung closes my airway, which allows me to not breathe. So it will do that, and then I can start to breathe again. And then what works best and has worked best, because she's my mother, back from when I was born, having this curdle. I know it sounds weird being 28 and being curdle, but when you're like this, you're helpless. You can't do anything to help it on your own. You need someone there to help you. And so she'll basically put me in her arms and with just my top body, because she can't get the bottom body to go, and rock. What it does is it slowly brings me out of it. And when I do, my eyes will slowly open, and the first thing I usually ask is, where am I? And that's how all of us are. We say, where are we? How did we get here? And then we go, well, I don't remember getting here. I remember exactly what was going on, physically, but I don't remember getting to that point on the floor or off the couch. I've fallen off the couch while sleeping and hitting a table. It don't feel good. And like I was saying earlier, brain receptor, it doesn't shut off right away. So you can't just leave me alone because I'm okay now and say, oh, he's okay, we're gonna walk away and go to our... No, you can't, because it's not over. 9 times out of 10, unless you're gonna be very quiet and there's nothing else around me that will startle me, is what we say, startle, and put us back into it, I'll be fine. Get me out of it, get me to the couch, lay down. Most times I'll automatically go right to sleep. Why? Because with us, with our muscles working so hard, and working so hard to get them back to strength of actually moving the limbs, the neck, and the 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 feet, because the feet, are straight like this, but they can tend to be like this the whole time, sitting up the whole time, and this is your ankle area. It hurts. So then it's very stiff. So when you try to move it, it hurts your ankle. Like this bone here is the ankle bone. It will hurt to move it, and if you move it, it will hurt even worse. It's like taking a broken bone and trying to bend it, like when NFL players separate their shoulder, they snap it into place. Well, it's basically doing the opposite. You're not snapping it into place, you're snapping it out of place. My left leg tends to be the one that is less affected, and I come out of my left leg faster than my right leg. And that's why for me, it's not okay to stop and say, alright, he's good. No, because I usually go into another one. Because of all of this, because of what I've went through in my life, starting when I was born, I had to take kindergarten twice because I had speech therapy, one-on-one with a teacher, because I had speech problems, which my learning disability came from this. And I had help all throughout school and college. And I graduated high school, I graduated college, so somehow I was able to do all of that while in this body, not knowing, having this condition inside of me that was killing me, that I didn't even know I had, but I knew something was happening to me the whole time. Okay, that's how it is. So driving, sometime soon I'm hoping to get back into driving, but it's not easy because at night all the street lights, headlights, backlights, mainly the backlights, because when they turn, they have a turn signal that keeps going on and off like this. Well, it's flashing, but at night they're like rays, glares, and the glares is when it passes us like this, it right away just, we're like this, we're in space. Almost like if you take Rodney Dangerfield, who's my favorite comedian, and put his eyes into our body, that's how it is. The eyes are like this, and all of a sudden we're just staring into space like this, with our eyes wide open. And then all of a sudden, they're not. They're closed. They're closed. Completely. Or they just stay open, and all of a sudden you're just focused on this one thing as you're driving. So you could be focused on street light. You could be focused on the backlight, and focused on it as you're driving. Well, the problem is, you're not looking out of your peripheral vision as you're driving. Your head is not moving, so your head is straight the whole time, like I am right now. I'm just looking at the camera, and when you do, and your eye is not on the road, you veer, and I have hit the curb on the street and ruined the tire, and I have done the same thing on the freeway. It's not something to be proud of. It happened over a year ago, but that's something that is going to take time with the medication I'm taking, how it's going to affect the rest of my body when I actually will, because I was drinking at the same time as taking the medication, because the drinking helped better. I wasn't getting the correct response, or I wasn't getting the correct results, I should say, the results that I wanted or needed for the doctor to see how the medication was working. So, I stopped drinking for a while, and then I went back to it again. Well, now I'm done. I don't drink. I drink water, juice, lemonade. That's what sits in my fridge. Soda I don't drink because sugar is something that is not good to have a lot of sugar. So I want to just, it's already been an hour and 5 minutes, and I'm actually getting cotton mouth, and you guys are probably getting bored now. I didn't mean for this to be like a long session, but as I said, my mind goes everywhere because of my learning disability. My mind will go all over, and it's probably hard to catch up, but if you listen to it a couple times or just once, you might get it right away, learn it right away. What I'm hoping for is that this video goes viral. Maybe I happen to be that one special guy or kid that gets selected out of this YouTube video out of nowhere that's gone viral, and I'm on this show of Ellen DeGeneres or Oprah or whatever, Dr. Phil, and talk about this. That will allow the people or everybody in the world to know what it is, so that they know exactly what to do, the doctors, hospital, or just strangers, so that when they do see me or someone else, they'll be like, I saw that on TV, I heard about it, but now, no, I don't know exactly what date. Andrew, out of the UK, has made a documentary video that will be on, I believe he said TNT and the Discovery Channel. And it's a documentary on his life, what he goes through, what we go through. We're the same. It's like we're blood brothers, but we're not. It's like we're family, but we're not. But I consider that group my family because we all are together, working together. And so I just look at that and say, all right. So we've been asking him constantly, when is this going to be on TV? You know, it's going to be viral. Cable is viral. Everyone knows that. Sometime in June, the show will be on, and I don't know exactly when in June. It was supposed to be April, then May, but they've backed it up more. They're working on it, cut footage and putting in new footage, or cut footage and keeping stuff, so it takes a while. It's like a movie, you know. It takes a year or so to generate. It was a year span of his life that he put together into for one day, and that's why it's taken a while. But it's going to be very, very educational for everyone in the world to watch, see, and know. I'm not making this video to say we have it worse than someone that has cancer, whether it's pancreatic cancer, lung cancer, heart, breast cancer, autism, leukemia. It's just another condition like theirs, but one that is not known at all, and it's something that should be known. So, once again, it is called HYPEREKPLEXIA. Okay, it's not spelled how you would say it. When you say it, it's HYPEREKPLEXIA. Done. Because there's no S after the K. So, once again, the spelling of it, so maybe you want to look it up and whatnot, read about it. The spelling of it is HYPEREKPLEXIA. Look that up. That should help you greatly in understanding. Maybe you're someone who has it, or one of your sons or daughters have it, or someone in your family has it, and maybe me sharing this with you helps you out. I'd like to thank you guys for checking out the video. If you do, it means a great world to me to know that people care the same way I care about other people. And just thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this. I know it's a long one, but it's very informational. It'll help you out in knowing something else that is out there that nobody else knows about. And one day maybe hoping to get a fundraiser going for it to help newborns that have it, so that they don't pass it on to other people. Thank you, and have a good day.